Gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around. I'm so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, grateful.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and what a joy it is to see you all here in the sanctuary. Thank you for being here this morning. And for those of you who are joining us online or during the week, you are in the right place at the right time right now, and you're in our hearts. Thank you so much for being a part of our experience here on Sunday morning. If you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community, welcoming people from all walks of life. People who are seeking a deeper experience of spirit, a greater sense of health, wholeness, and abundance. People looking for spiritual growth and transformation and to do life better. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Rusty Gaylor is joining me on the platform today. Margot LeDuc is our soloist. Russell Norman is on piano. And Ron E. Beck is on drums. And so we begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us.
Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you more. The greatest thing in all my life is knowing greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. I want to love you more. I want to love you more. The greatest thing in all my life is loving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you. I want to serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest thing in all my life is serving you.
Please be seated. Good morning. For those of you who are here with us live in the sanctuary, you may hear a funny sound that just started a moment ago. We went from blue sky to pouring rain. And if you're watching us online, maybe you're experiencing that too, but hopefully not later in the week. We'll get the sun again, we'll see. But in any case, welcome. We are glad that you are here. Welcome to the Sunday service here at Unity Palo Alto. We are part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education, teaching positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life to do life better. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. We have 5 principles that guide us in this path to spiritual growth. The first principle is God is. There is one presence and power active in the universe, that is God, the good omnipotent. The second principle is I am. That God is not a power or presence that is out there somewhere. It is right here inside of each one of us. The third principle is the law of mind action, which is that thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We have the ability to affect the world through our thinking. The fourth principle is the practice of prayer and meditation, because it is through prayer and meditation that we become more and more connected with this essence of the divine that is inside of each one of us and allows us to express that more fully in the world. Excuse me. And finally, the fifth principle is the daily practice, because it is through the practice of these principles each day that we come to more and more express the divine in us and through us, and that is how we do life better. These 5 core principles guide us in living our vision statement, which is on the screen behind me, and I invite you to say it with me all together. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And now we continue our service with the call to worship song.
I'm up in thee. I'm open thee. I'm open thee.
And now a reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is dominion. I will read the affirmation first and then invite you to say it together with me. I claim dominion and direct the course of my life. All together. I claim dominion and direct the course of my life. While I may not be able to control what happens in my life, I am always free to determine how I will respond. Through my divine faculty of dominion, I decide what to think, what to say, and how to act. If a thought of fear or powerlessness arises, I remember all the wisdom, understanding, and strength of God are within me. Whether I'm organizing my day or moving forward after making a life-altering decision, the principle of dominion is always mine to claim. Knowing this, I move through life with quiet confidence. I am secure in being in myself and in the knowledge that I am a divine being. I claim dominion and feel my life expand into a field of limitless possibility and potential. The scripture reading is from the Psalm number 8, verse 6. You have given them dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under their feet.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the songs of all my great grandmothers and the dreams of all my great grandfathers and the way to rise beyond the pain, all live, all live, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. And the smiles of all the unborn children and the dreams of a better day to come and the dance of heaven with the earth, all live, all live, all live in me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. Sing it with me. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. One more time. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. All that I am. I am in the land, in the land, in the land, in the land of I am, I am, I am, I am, I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am.
Thank you, Margot. I am all that I am, yes? Let's affirm that together. I am all that I am. You're so good. I didn't have to say together. Let's do that one more time. Together, I am all that I am. That I am within us, that divine principle, that divine essence. That is the story of our master teacher, Jesus. And today I'm going to begin a 4-part series of the book, Discover the Power Within You. This is a book that was written by one of the thought leaders in unity, and a leader in the world in terms of New Thought consciousness. And he wrote this book, Discover the Power Within You. And so we're going to do a 4-part series as we head our way into Easter. And the book was written originally, I think, in 1968, and then updated by him in 1989. And so some of the stories are from the 60s. Anybody remember the 60s? Barely, yeah. I was born in the 60s, so not so much. But I think what you'll discover is when you read the book, if you read the book, some of the stories that are in the book really will resonate with you if you look at it from today's perspective. It is timeless work, and it's really, if you want to understand what Unity thinks, this is a great fundamental book to read. And I'll be offering a class in it later on in a month or so after Easter. So this is a relic. Anybody feel a sense of nostalgia with the platform, with the podium up? Yeah? You just noticed? Yeah. I called it out. No, it's kind of white noise now, isn't it? Do you feel? It's lovely. Do you like it? Yeah. Don't get used to it. I know, I'm so mean. So it's a relic of this last weekend when we had our annual meeting and we needed a podium, and so I put the podium back up and I forgot to take it down. And what I've learned is to just go with the flow of what happens. But I do want to bring in one point that we made at the annual meeting because not everybody was there. Each year we come together as a community, and our voting members are invited to vote on things like the Board of Trustees and the minutes and the nominating, the minutes. Yes, you vote on the minutes, but gee, that's not an important one. But you vote on the budget and the nominating committee and whatever else comes before the board. And it's an opportunity for us to share what has happened in the past year. And so the one thing that I want to bring into this meeting, to all of you, is this concept, this idea. We had over 60 people volunteer at our spiritual center in the last year. So, Felix, would you put up the slide for me, please? I would like to ask, look at all of the opportunities that we had to serve, from the prayer chaplains to the Brown versus Board of Education play, to the Board of Trustees. If you have if you have volunteered in our spiritual community in any way in the last year, would you please stand up so that we can honor you today? Would you give them a big round of applause? Whether it was one day or the entire year, you create Unity Palo Alto. So stay standing. I see you're almost sitting. Hang on a second. We're going to bless you. Are you ready? If you don't know our saying, just send love. But volunteers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. You are what makes our spiritual community a community and makes us go. So please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you, Felix. And after the Board of Trustees, after the annual meeting comes our Board of Trustees meeting, our retreat rather. And we began our retreat yesterday. Oh my gosh, my words are just not here today. Can you bear with me? Okay, so here's the scoop. We had our Board of Trustees retreat, part 1, yesterday. Now, I'm going to say usually, but that was 4 years ago, we would actually go to a retreat center. And it would be a time for us to connect spiritually, and to do some work. Well, yesterday we did a little spirituality at the beginning and at the end, and then we crammed all of the work into one day, so people were kind of tired at the end of the day. But it was very productive, would you not say? Would you say yes, board members? Volunteer board members? I didn't get a yes out of it. Yeah, well, you and I are going to have words later. I thought it was very productive, and what was interesting is It was the first time in 3 years when we did not talk about the pandemic. We didn't have the questions of how are we going to reach our community when we're closed, because we didn't have live streaming. We didn't have questions like how many people can we fit legally in our sanctuary when we reopen? How far apart do they have to? We were measuring the pews to see how far apart we would have to have people sit. Do you remember that? And now today, here we are. And instead of looking at how we're going to solve this issue, solve this problem, we're looking at how are we going to emerge? What are we going to look like in this coming year? What are we going to start to build in this coming year? And it was a wonderful experience of being able to come from that perspective and to just hear all of the ideas. Now, we don't know yet because part 2 is after the service today. We're going to get back together and roll up our sleeves and be more productive, Marcy Blau. And but what I recognized in that was through all of that time of the pandemic, through the fear, through the uncertainty in our personal lives. You know, I remember we shut down our services 2 Sundays before we were told we had to shut down. And I remember, running the wire, well, I didn't, Kent did, ran the wire through the attic to get internet into the sanctuary, because we didn't even have internet then. And I remember the feeling of coming in here on the first couple of Sundays and doing a service here with nobody in the room but a camera in front of me. And my wife Tiffany at a table running the live stream. And then we got tired of that, so we moved it to our master bedroom. So for a year, you were seeing me from my house. And through all that experience, what I am recognizing is that you can have the best laid plans. Do you know what the theme for that year was, 2020? The Roaring Twenties. That was our theme here. That's the theme that came to me. The Roaring Twenties. The spiritual, because in the Roaring Twenties back in the 1920s, it was the birth of all kinds of things. It was the birth of, and now I'm going to forget because I'm really tired because the second part of my story. But it was the birth of okay, well, you go read about the Roaring Twenties. But the point that I was trying to make is this is the birth of a spiritual revolution. It's the birth of a spiritual time where we will explode into a new state of being. And what happened as a result of that? Okay, maybe it wasn't a result of that. Maybe I'm not the cause of the pandemic. But what happened a few months later? We were all shut down. So best laid plans, and it's so tied to this book because today's topic is the Great Discovery. And the Great Discovery that was made by Jesus is that idea that the kingdom of heaven is within us. Within us. And back then, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the thinking. Right? Everyone was living in the Old Testament God, where God was out there somewhere. God was creating and destroying. God was blessing and damning. And God was very capricious in terms of what he decided to do. And then Jesus had this awakening, this discovery within him that this is that allness, that power that's within me. And what he discovered is that Christ potential. And he started to live into that idea of the Christ potential. I don't know if he really understood the power that he was discovering at that time. But it's that power that knowing that you have within you everything you need to navigate whatever comes your way. And we did that during the pandemic. And it reminded me of the phrase of let go and let God. Let Spirit guide you. So wherever you're headed, if all of a sudden you're heading over here, then go over there. and allow Spirit to emerge through you and as you. So in his book, Eric Butterworth wrote the idea when he was talking about this great discovery that the master teacher made. This master teacher named Jesus, who was known as son of Joseph and Mary of Nazareth, wasn't very special as a kid. In fact, when he went back to Nazareth, as it says in Matthew 13:54, what's so special about Jesus? We knew him as the boy in the carpenter shop. No big whoop. What is so special about this guy? What's special is the discovery. And Butterworth says, into the consciousness of this thoughtful lad came an idea so great that he probably didn't catch its full implications at first. It was the concept leading to the full realization of his unity with God, the breaking down of the middle wall of partition between us and God. So it's that discovery, and as Jesus put it, the kingdom, he knew that the kingdom of God, the wealth of the universe, was within the depth potential within him. He was committed and a polished teacher with the amazing message that the kingdom of God is within you. Now, over the years, that message has been manipulated or changed or reinterpreted into different things. And of course, Unity is reinterpreting it into what we think is more realistic based on our scholarship. But I think what the meaning here is, and the thing that's very important, is as we teach here in Unity, you have everything that you need within you. That power, that presence that we call the Christ, that Christ potential. And that Christ potential is what lifts us up. It's that divine spark that's within us. And that divine spark is what helps us move through life with ease and grace, even when things go crazy. It's that inner nature, that divine wisdom that flows through us when we're walking our path. So Butterworth talks about Jesus as having a very unique view of God, especially in the day of fire and brimstone. Because Jesus came back and said, no, it's not about the fire and brimstone, it's about love. It's about connection, it's about our oneness with God. As he said many times, the kingdom of heaven is within. And the kingdom of God is that experience that we have when we connect with one another. So he was teaching unity, I think, back then. And he was teaching that idea of oneness well before its time. And I think today we're starting to get an understanding of what we call oneness. We're one with the allness of the life. The allness of life, love, and wisdom. That's my favorite term for God. Divine wisdom, divine love, infinite intelligence, all of these different aspects of that higher energy, that higher consciousness that is us and available to us. Jesus' unique view of it was, you are all the chosen, you are all the Most High, that you all have this potential. And it wasn't so much a bar to live up to, it wasn't a restriction, you have to act this way, you have to do that way, but it was more, for him, it was a way of living that expression, that energy, that love in everything that he did. And so bringing that love to one another, bringing that energy to one another, bringing that consciousness of creativity. So if we understand the idea of oneness, that you and I are all one, that's one of the main concepts in unity. If we have an intellectual understanding that you and I are one, and we started to embody that understanding, then our lives, our experiences with each other would be a lot different. We'd be showing up for each other differently than showing up trying to get something from one another. Right? That's the concept of we're here to give. If you want more love, then give more love. Because that's what comes back. That's what circulates. And that's what that master teacher was teaching. That each of us has within us that Christ potential. No, I like to call it our authentic self, because it's really who we are. And we're all here to express that in our own unique and special way. That's why we're all different. That's why we all have something different to bring to the table. And so in our meeting yesterday, I sat back and we just said, okay, what's everything that's important to us as a spiritual community? What is it that we want to focus on as a spiritual community as we move forward in this year? That concept of oneness. We're here together to create an experience where people can come and have that felt sense of spirit in their life. Have that felt sense of love, of divine love. Have that felt sense of inner peace. And have that felt sense of connection with each other. And we'll learn along the way. I think one of the best things about unity is we always tell you, don't take my word for it. Practice it. Put it in your life. And see how it works for you. I had a wonderful discussion this week with one of our spiritual community members. We sat down and we talked for about 45 minutes about God. You know, she grew up over here with the understanding of the Old Testament God. God is outside of us. God's the guy in the sky. And on the very end of the spectrum, she started to become aware of, well, science is pretty cool too. So how do you connect the two? And for me, there is no separation between the two. See, on one side, on this side of the equation, someone may have an awakening experience, may have that aha moment, may say, and they're looking at it through that lens of whatever lens they have. And it may be the lens of, Jesus is the only Son of God, and therefore, this is the only way to do it. On the other hand, you may have a similar experience, an awakening experience, a knowing, of your oneness in consciousness, of an allness in consciousness, and there is no God in your lens. The awakening experience is valid. And when we can start looking at everything in between, that whole spectrum, and recognize that we're all having this awakening experience in one form or another, in one way or another, we're just translating it through our own lens. If we can have an understanding of that and an appreciation for that, then we can include all of it. And with all of it comes a shadow side. And the biggest part of that shadow side is I'm right and you're wrong. The biggest part of that shadow side is I had this awakening and this is how I got here. This is the path y'all need to walk. But we know there are so many paths to this awakening. So can we honor and respect each other in our paths and still find out what path is working for us? What path? I know people who've gone through different religions and different paths and have settled on unity because those are the ones who come and talk to me. The ones who don't settle on unity don't talk to me. I don't know why that is. And they tell me, well, this is the one that resonates with me because I feel welcomed. And yeah, I may think of this and I may think that, but I'm still welcomed here. And the discussion is welcome so that I can grow. And you can't grow, you can't evolve unless you're willing to let go of something, unless you're willing to challenge your own beliefs. And that's what Jesus' message was. Challenge your beliefs. Toss over the money tables in your mind, in your own consciousness. What's really working for you to create greater harmony in your life? Include that. And when you look at your own shadow self, if you're willing to look at where you are pushing other people away, where you're self-righteous, where you are, misinterpreting world, if you're willing to look at that shadow self and bring that into the light, heal it. And everything that isn't working for you anymore, transcend it. Allow it to slip away. Let go and let God. There's a great mystic, Meister Eckhart, who once said, Let God be God in you. Let that divine essence that is you be you, your authentic self. Let Spirit be you. I know in Unity I often use the phrase, allow divine love to move in, through, and as you. It's that as you part that is so important because that is our unity with Spirit. Everything else is duality. To me, through me. It's not me, it's Spirit. That's still a dualistic nature. But if we're looking at it from a perspective of unity, it's as me. And we'll each show up as our unique, beautiful self. And that's the unique vision and view that unity teaches that Jesus had. And so then we come to the great decision. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to embody it? You know, there's a path of growth that I think includes the idea, the intellectual idea of what we're talking about. And we understand it. But until we embody it, you know, it's just words. Until we put it into our daily practice and we start to live it. There's another path where we experience it. And we're living it. But if our intellectual hasn't caught up with it yet, and we're still holding, this is the only way to do it, we are preventing ourselves from growing even further. So when those two things merge, when we allow that the beingness, the intellectual knowingness to merge, then our doingness is simply living our best life. Now, what happens when you do? It's not something that everyone wants to do because it's scary. My friends aren't doing it. If I do that and come to my friends, they're going to say, who the heck do you think you are? But what I've discovered is when I live more from that authentic self, where I'm open and receptive to divine wisdom, where I don't hold on to the idea that I have all the answers at all, but infinite intelligence does. When I hold on to the idea that and the feeling that I'm just one with the universe and allow whatever emotions come in to just wash over me and fall away, but stay centered, then life goes smoother and easier. And when those big challenges come up, we can shift with ease and grace. So yes, we'll all have our plans. We'll all have our goals. We'll have our direction. And if we look at it just as simply, this is the direction I'm going to take, and we start to walk. And then along the way, Spirit guides us. And maybe small course corrections towards our highest good. If we stay open to them, we just take the course corrections. It may be a full-on gust of wind that sends us in a different direction. Let God be God in you and just move with the flow of Spirit. Because that direction will maybe take us out of the hurricane that's ahead of us. Maybe take us around it, maybe take us somewhere completely different. But what I've learned is that if you just allow God to be, if you allow Spirit, that energy to flow, and you move your feet with it, the way opens up to an easier path, to a more joyful path, to a more abundant path, to a path that I love walking. And so part 2 of our board meeting is not so much about what will we do, but for me it's how will we be? And how will we as a spiritual community allow Spirit to be the energy through which we flow? How will we allow that new consciousness of oneness, the embodiment of oneness that was taught so many years ago, to emerge more fully in us? Now, I think that's what's happening in the world around us, in the collective consciousness, in the global consciousness, is that there is something emerging. It's time for, as the Buddhists call it, it's time for a new turning. A new consciousness is emerging. And we can fight it, because that's typically what we do. The old beliefs are going to hold on to the old way of doing things. Or we can let go, have non-resistance, and just allow the new consciousness to unfold in, through, and as. Thank you. 5 of you get A's. In, through, and as us. I'm one with the infinite flow of the universe. I'm one with the infinite flow of the universe. Would you affirm that with me together? I am one with the infinite flow of the universe. Divine love is the harmonizing energy that moves as me. Divine love is the harmonizing energy that moves me. Divine love is the harmonizing energy that guides me. I'm guided by that infinite love. Divine love is the harmonizing energy in me. Together, divine love is the harmonizing energy in me. It's already there. All you have to do is open your heart to it. Divine intelligence guides me every step of the way. Divine intelligence guides me every step of the way. Together, divine intelligence guides me every step of the way. When I let that happen, my ego has fun. When I resist it, my ego's fighting me, fighting that authentic self, trying to get control, trying to think it's right, trying to prove that it knows what it's doing. So I say to ego, just relax and enjoy the ride. And let God be God in you. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I invite you to close your eyes as we take a nice deep breath or soften your gaze. As we begin to tune out the outer experience of life and move to that sacred space within where there is pure peace, pure love, pure wisdom. With each breath, we allow ourselves to relax just a little bit more. And if you're sensing any stress or strain in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your body, surround it with love, that harmonizing energy of spirit that is circulating through you now. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel grounded and centered in this present moment. And as the stress drifts away, we replace it with love. Breathing into this present moment, we breathe in divine love. We breathe out kindness and compassion. We breathe in infinite intelligence. We breathe out wise words and actions. We breathe in infinite peace. And we are a peaceful presence in the world. With each breath, sink into the allness, the oneness, the peace of spirit in the stillness of the silence. Feeling that inner warmth of spirit, the comfort of divine love, the wisdom of the universe. From this consciousness of being one with the allness of life, love, and wisdom, we affirm, I am spiritually whole in this moment. Divine love is doing its perfect work in, through, and as me. Divine intelligence is guiding me every step of the way. And I am a peaceful, joyful presence in the world. We send this energy out now to all of our friends and family, to everyone in this room and in our spiritual community, seeing each person enfolded in this divine love. We send this energy out to our world, healing our world, uplifting the collective consciousness. And as we do, we bless all of creation. We see each person discovering that spiritual magnificence within them, the willingness to include, the willingness to transcend their own shadows, their willingness to be their authentic self. We hold this same prayer for all of our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth. We hold this same prayer for all of the prayers in our online and in-person prayer chest, knowing that each person is discovering that spiritual magnificence, feeling the presence of divine love, the guidance of Spirit within them. And for this time together, creating this sacred space in this sacred community, we say thank you, Spirit, by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this time and this space and to hold that experience of love, kindness, and compassion in your heart as we move through this day, to do the things that ought to be done by us. Yes? Unity is here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence. Our evolutionary purpose is to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. And that is the good news, as they say, and you are the good news. Yes? Yes. All right, that's about a third of you. How about the rest of you? Are you in? Are you the good news? Yes?
Yes.
Wow. Check out that reverb. That was Spirit. We're here because of your generous donations. We are a self-sustaining spiritual community. There are many ways in which you can support our spiritual community, either by giving a donation or a car, as someone gave us recently, or there are many other ways. However you want to give and serve our spiritual community, do it with love. If you'd like to make a donation in the sanctuary, there's a silver box in the back that says love offering. You can place your love offering in there. But however you give with love, because that's what you receive with love. That's the lens through which you are giving and being in the world. So allow that divine love to be you as you live your life in the flow of the universe. Our affirmation is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy
Beautiful. Please be seated. Let's just take a moment to live in this very moment in that holy way, from that place of divine spiritual magnificence that is inside of each of us. So if you would just take a moment and connect with that sense of spiritual magnificence. If you'd like, you can put your hand over your heart and feel that inside of you, and just feel the blossoming energy, that warm glow, the warm light of spiritual magnificence in you. And feel it in this room, radiating from you, from those around you. Whether you're here in person, online, you're part of this community. And we just recognize and celebrate that feeling that comes from this time we spend together, the message, the music, the community. And just send a wave of gratitude out for this place, this time, this life, these people that we share this moment together. Thank you. Beyond the time that we spend together here on Sunday, we also have many other opportunities for you to engage with the community here at Unity. One of them is, as you know, we are during the season of Lent, and during the season of Lent, Reverend John is posting information every day about this process of letting go. Oftentimes we think about letting go as giving something up, like chocolate or alcohol or something like that during Lent. But there's much more that we can let go of to become our fullest and best self, things like resentment or anger or a sense of lack. So, Felix, I think we have a slide on this. Yes, the 40 days of letting go. So tune into this. You can check this out on the website, and I believe it's posted on YouTube every day. Yep. So you can check out the Unity Palo Alto YouTube channel. You can go to the website, but there's this message that John is posting every day. You can go listen to that as you journey through these 40 days of letting go of those things that stand in your way of this spiritual magnificence. All right, next announcement. We have the second Sunday of every month, including next Sunday, because today's the first Sunday, so next Sunday, a week from today, is the prayer service. So this happens right after the service at 11 o'clock and is led by our licensed Unity teacher, Casey Wicker. So you can tune in and join and learn a little bit more about what prayer means in Unity, because it's not a beseeching prayer, it's an affirming prayer. So you can join and participate in that and not only learn, but have the wonderful experience of it. And then finally, on a more festive note, you can join for the gala, which is coming up in March on the, don't have a slide in front of me, I think it's the 25th. Thank you. I got a couple people helping me out. March 25th. So everybody is invited to participate in the gala. Tickets are available online at the unitypaloalto.org website. We would love to have you there for a fun evening of celebration. Check out these and all the other things going on here at Unity on our website, on our social media channels. I already mentioned YouTube. You can also check out Instagram, Facebook, and so on. We're all over the place sharing the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. Because it is the first Sunday of the month, we like to celebrate birthdays. Is there anyone who has a March birthday? We would invite you to stand up and we will greet you and sing happy birthday to you. And you can stay standing and everyone else can stand and join for our song of peace.
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you soon.
In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am, I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I am all that I am. In the land of I am more than I have been. I am more than I will be. I'm all that I am. All right. Yay! Happy Sunday.
Yeah, I meant to.